Welcome, spiritual travelers, to a Mystic Owl Pick a Card reading. Today's theme is, are you on the right path? Let's find out, shall we? Before we get started with that message, I wanted to just send out a message of love to the world, really, I suppose. Right now is a period of, I think, rapid change moving into the age of Aquarius, where people that have been oppressed in the past are starting to rise up, and the world is coming together to really unite and to give a voice to those people that have been oppressed and shut down and haven't been able to sort of have the same privileges that the rest of us have. As a privileged white male, I don't know what it's like to feel unsafe walking down the street, or to have that fear that maybe your life will be taken by someone just for being who you are or for the color of your skin. So I think it's time for us all to really stand up and to be anti-racist at this point in time. It's okay to be not racist, but this is a period where we all need to really be anti-racist and to come together to give a voice to those minority groups that maybe don't have the privileges that the rest of us does. So I'm going to take this opportunity to light a candle as a vigil to the Black lives that have been lost in the past, and recently too with George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, whose birthday was just yesterday when I'm filming this, so that I can send out my support and to say that I'm really behind this movement. And I hope that you can all share this message too in your own way. But yeah, moving on from that, let's get on to the reading today. So the theme once again is, are you on the right path? So we have 4 piles today. We have pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. So I'm just going to draw some runes as a place marker for each of these piles. Pile 1, you have the rune of xxxx. Pile 2, you have the rune of uruz. Pile 3, you have the rune of answers. And pile 4, you have the rune of Berkana. I hope you can see those. So please use your intuition, have a look at the piles, see which one resonates with you. The timestamps will be in the description box and in the comment section. Remember, this is a general reading, so please take what resonates with you and leave the rest behind. And let's move on to pile 1 to find out if you're on the right path. Hello, pile 1. You have the rune of xxxx, which is the rune of Thor, or the spiritual warrior. Very powerful rune in terms of, I guess, physical strength, but also mental strength too. xxxx is actually a rune associated with, I guess, defensive power. Not going out there and really being quite aggressive and taking action, but defending your rights or defending for the greater cause when there's a need to really be aggressive, I suppose. So if a war was to start out, then the spiritual warrior would arise and then defend the greater cause. So it's a rune associated with knowing how strong you are, I suppose, but being a little conservative in that sense, and using it for the greater good when it's required. So moving on to your cards to find out if you're on the right path. So your tarot cards. You have the 4 of buttons, which is the 4 of pentacles in the standard tarot. It actually says here conservatism, security, and letting go. With the monkey too, like the candle here. holding on to those pentacles or coins. You have the 9 of matches in reverse. Exhaustion, struggle, and paranoia. Interesting. And your 2 oracle cards? You have number 21, Shadow Treasures. And your Moonology card? You have New Moon in Libra. A new romantic cycle begins. Interesting. I do sense for you, pile 1, that it is time for a change, actually. I think that you are in a really stable place right now, actually. It's probably a good word for it. Things are okay in your life. You've got a good job, I sense, or a career path anyway. You know, friends and family around you to support you, but I sense that there's just something that is just not quite right in your life right now. With the card of 9 of matches, it says here, exhaustion, struggle. I do sense that there's a need for a change for you, for sure, because even though I sense that what you have going for you in your life right now is actually quite good, there's a feeling of just being dissatisfied or something being missing, that there's a need for a change, but you're not quite sure yet what that is, I sense. I am picking up on, with New Moon in Libra, a new romantic cycle begins. Potentially this is a relationship that you're in that allows you to feel really secure. This person is, you know, a great person, and I sense that you feel really quite secure and comfortable in this relationship. But maybe it's just not right for you. Either that, or it could be with the 4 of buttons, conservatism. You have a job that is providing some comfort and support. Like, it's a job that brings in the money, but it's just a little dissatisfying. Maybe if you really think about it and look deep into yourself with the card of Shadow Treasures here, you'll realize that you're just a little bit unhappy, whether it be in this relationship or within this career. I am actually just going to get a clarifier card right now before we get started to find out whether it's based on a relationship or in your current career. Can we get a clarifier, please? Oops, there it is. Oh, okay. So you have a 5 of Pentacles. You've got the 4 and the 5 of Pentacles. The 5 of Pentacles being the clarifier, indicating a sense of lacking. And because it's based on the coins again, I do sense that it's probably a career-related message for you. That even though you're in a job or some sort of path that brings you financial stability, I do sense that it's probably not so satisfying for you. If you really look deep into yourself, and be true and honest to yourself, I think you'll realize that maybe this isn't giving you complete satisfaction. There's an underlying feeling of just something not being right, basically. And because of it, it is causing you a little bit of stress. You've got the card here of 9 of matches in reverse, and exhaustion and struggle. So it is potentially time for you to think about a new career path, pile 1. Even though you may feel quite, I guess, stable, as if this is really providing for your needs right now, I think that you could probably change your job or find a new path that actually brings you a lot of joy and satisfaction every day. And that will be good for you, because when you're actually doing the things that you love, it's still work. I don't believe with that sort of that mentality of like you never worked a day in your life. I mean, it's still work, but it will be satisfying. You'll feel as if you're actually in alignment and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. And things just start to come into flow a little bit more when you actually find like your purpose in life a little bit more. So I do sense that for you, there could be a need for you to take some time to just, delve deep into your inner world a little bit and ask yourself some really hard and challenging questions of like, what is it I actually want to do? What brings me joy every day? How can I maybe serve other people or serve the world in some way and give back? Because once you do that and you sort of change your path and find your calling, you've got the card here of 21 shadow treasures, indicating that there's some deeper treasures once you actually look into your shadow side and ask those deeper and hard questions of yourself and work out who you are and what it is that you need to, that you could be doing that would serve humanity or the world in some way. But you've also got the card here, New Moon in Libra, a new romantic cycle begins. It does say romantic cycle, but I just think that means like beautiful and uplifting cycle, like a romance sort of lifts you up and makes you feel a lot sort of happier and having more inspiration in your day-to-day world, basically. I do see a group too that could really benefit from actually writing a list about certain things that maybe they're afraid to face of themselves. When I was going through like some really hard, challenging times, it took a lot to get out of that, but something that I did, tarot actually really helped me because it helped me answer some of those deeper questions that I was probably afraid to answer. But something else that I did was just to sort of really be quite honest and truthful about who I was and what things I needed to change, the things about myself that I wasn't too fond of that I needed to change. And I wrote a list of them. And then I just started to actively work on those things, and I saw a counselor to get help and stuff like that. So you could really probably benefit from writing a list about your shadow aspects that maybe you're not too proud of or fond of, and start to realize that some of those things, when you work on them, you have some hidden treasures in there that you never thought you could actually embody. So for me, I was always a little bit ashamed of my voice because I do stumble and stutter sometimes, and I had some issues in my younger childhood with stuttering and mumbling a lot. So I really had to work quite strongly on overcoming the fear of putting myself out there and actually speaking up. But now I'm doing it as a passion. This is something that actually brings me a lot of joy. And once you work on those things and overcome them, you'll be amazed of what you can achieve. So this is actually a really positive reading in the sense that if you confront your shadow and confront those things that potentially aren't serving you, there's an opportunity here that you could actually bring out some new gifts that you hadn't thought you had, and really capitalize on like a new opportunity in terms of being able to make some money, which is really amazing. Pile one. There could actually be several things here that you hold on to that are bringing you stability in life, but maybe you realize just really aren't bringing you happiness. It's one thing to feel stable and secure, but we're all here really to be the best version of ourselves and to find happiness within. Yeah, interesting. You have the power too. So you remember you've got the rune of Thorusis here, which is about, I guess, defensive power. Once you look into your shadows, remember that you have the power to really change these things for the greater good. On that pile one, let's get some further messages about how you can actually like change these things, or what you can do anyway in order to help you sort of take stock of these things that you need to look deep into and change, and what your career path might be too. Ooh. Oh, okay. I'm just going to stop there. Your first card is the Tower card that just flew out, indicating that yes, there is a need for you to change path, because if you don't soon, I do sense that the universe will probably step in like with divine intervention, and it won't necessarily be an easy like an easy ride. It'll be quite sort of tumultuous and quite sudden, I sense. So yeah, there's a need for you to sort of take stock and to do some shadow work too, and to bring balance back into your world too. So you've got the sign of Libra here, which is all about like balance and harmony, right? But in terms of actually serving humanity too, Libras are the sign of just like, it's related to the card of justice in the tarot. It's about law and order in a sense, and bringing justice back to the world, which the world could really do with right now. So I do sense that you've got a calling here, pile one, of actually serving humanity in a way, whether it be with certain gifts that you have, or yeah, like a talent that you have potentially, getting into a career path that actually actively serves humanity in some way, even if that's just like working at a shop or a cafe and bringing like a smile to people's faces. Yeah, right. Oh gosh. Okay, the last card that just came out is Justice. Oh, okay, that's amazing. I love it when that stuff happens in tarot, when you're just talking about something and then my spirit guides, or our spirit guides anyway, like bring out the card that I was talking about. So strong Libra energy here. You may have some Libra in your chart, potentially in your sun, moon, or rising. I do sense that either your North Node or your 6th house or your 10th house could be in Libra too. That's something to probably look into, about your career path and how you can serve the world in some way. But yeah, always touches me so much when the cards just jump out like that. So there is a need for you to actually achieve balance in your own life in terms of finding happiness, finding your path that will bring you happiness. I do sense that maybe the career path that you have isn't bringing you happiness right now. So there's a need for you to stop, work out what brings you happiness in your own right, and maybe try and make that a career path, but also to look deeper into your shadow self and to try and change those things that you aren't so fond of or proud of. And don't be afraid of those things either, because that's only your perception of yourself. Like, you may feel that some things are a certain weakness that you have, but maybe other people don't necessarily see that in you, you know? So that's only your perception too. Your shadow is something that you can bring to light and realize that there's nothing to be ashamed of there. It's just part of who you are. And there's hidden gifts there too that maybe you weren't even aware of. So yeah, it's time for you to really take action with the 8 of Wands here, to really take action on these things, pile one, to really think about what your path is and who you are and what you want from life, but also to really look into your shadow aspects and to bring those to light and to bring balance into your own internal self too. Because with the Tower card here, just remember that I do sense that if you don't take action very soon on these things, so the universe will find a way for you for this to fall apart, so that actually they can step in with divine intervention and push you onto the right path. Yeah, which isn't necessarily very comfortable at all, believe me. Oh no, let's get a final message for you, pile one, with the universe has your back deck. I'd love to know if you do have some Libra in your chart. Please leave a message below. But anyway, a group that really they're calling, I think, your North Node, is really all about finding a way to serve humanity with the card of Justice here, bringing justice back into the world and standing up for those minority groups like the Black Lives Movement right now. Standing up for minority groups that don't have that voice, or being able to just bring a smile to people's faces in some way. Nursing, being a doctor potentially, being a lawyer or working in law in some way. Or even, yeah, just day-to-day service, like working at your local grocery store or a cafe, or working in a restaurant, something that serves people and brings happiness and joy to people's faces. Your card here is, true healing occurs when I give myself permission to feel whatever feelings live below the triggers. Okay. which really aligns with the deeper message here of needing to work on your shadow self, looking into your shadow aspects, those things that maybe you're afraid of or you feel are like your least valuable aspects of who you are as a person. And just realizing that they're not things to be ashamed of, but they're actually things that may be like a strength that you have that you've just never known about. But if there have been things in your past, potentially your tower moment has already happened, Pile 1. You've really just had your tower moment, and your world has been rocked in a sense that those things that you've been holding on to, you realize you need to let go of. So there's a calling for you to like allow yourself to feel those emotions that you've been afraid of feeling in your past. To not be afraid of who you are and those things that maybe you feel you're not so proud of. If you have certain emotional responses that you feel are not the most to be proud of, in a sense, maybe you react quite strongly very quickly in arguments, or you have habits that you delve into when you're feeling low, and addictions that potentially you need to overcome also. The cards are also calling you to look at those things and to look at yourself from a place of compassion and love, and realize why you feel that way. Because I do sense there's some deeper emotional issues that need healing too. And I sense potentially it's because you feel that you are lacking or in some ways unworthy of being happy. Or that you, with the 9 of matches in reverse here, or that you always deserve to struggle a little bit in life, and that's not right. Like, we all need to find that calling that will bring us joy and happiness every day. There will be moments in your life that won't be easy, of course, but life isn't meant to be hard all the time. It's time for you to overcome those challenges, Pile 1, to find your career path and your calling, and to find harmony and balance within yourself too. And when you start actually becoming happier yourself, not only do you need to like serve people in terms of that being your path, but I sense that is Pile 1, but when you actually find happiness within, that vibration radiates out around you, and people pick up on that, and you can actually make other people happy just by being happy within who you are as a person. I hope that resonated with you, Pile 1. If it did, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And let's move on to Pile 2. Hello, Pile 2. You have the rune of Uruz, which is the rune of action and power, like taking aggressive action on something. It's associated with like a bull breaking free from the reins to some degree, just charging ahead with just brute force, basically, indicating that I think potentially you're on the right path, or you could be on the right path anyway, and it's time for you to really like move ahead, to be aggressive, basically. Be aggressive. On that, Pile 2, let's get some further insight about if you're on the right path with your oracle cards and your tarot cards. So your moonology card. You have the mutable moon. Nothing is yet set in stone. You have the card of number 29 in Nurture. Nice. Your tarot cards? You have the Ace of Matches. Inspiration, opportunity, and potential. Lovely. And you also have Oh, you have the Devil card. I wasn't quite expecting that. Restriction, release, and fear. Temptation also. Ah. Okay, for you, pile 2, I see a group that realizes that they weren't on the right path. And that you have started taking action to overcome certain things that you know weren't serving your highest good, in a sense. Some certain habits or potentially temptations and addictions that were holding you back from being the best version of yourself, or being the most authentic and true person that you can be. And the reason I say that is because, well, you've got the Devil card here, which is all about temptation and restriction, in a sense. But I do see that you've started to work on yourself with the card, with the rune here of Uruz and taking aggressive action. And also the card here of number 29 and nurture. I think you've started to nurture your greatest good, in a sense, and started to look after yourself, started to work on these things that weren't serving you. So this isn't necessarily, I think, a reading about your career path. It's about if you were actually treating yourself the best way, because I do sense that you started to look at some certain habits and reactions that you may have to certain situations too, and have started to take responsibility and accountability for certain things that weren't serving you, which is really commendable, pile 2. Good on you for doing that. It's not easy to change certain habits and traits of ourselves that maybe we're not so proud of, and it takes a lot of courage to overcome those things and to really like actively change those behaviors. So that's something that you should be really proud of, pile 2. But because of this also, I sense that now you're starting to see that you're a lot stronger than who you thought you were in the past. And there's a lot of opportunities that are starting to come your way. Maybe a new career path, potentially, or there's something that's just emerging here that you need to take stock of and take this chance now to really optimize and maximize the potential for it. So with the Ace of Matches here and the card of Mutable Moon, nothing is yet set in stone. I do sense that there is an opportunity that you need to really like grab the bulls by the horn with, in a sense, and just go, go, go. Now's the time for you to take action and to move ahead with whatever this is. It could potentially be a new path, a new career path, and a way to make money, or some sort of creative gift or passion that you have too. Or it may also just be related to continuing this work, because the universe is commending you that you've done such a great job in the past that you need to keep going on this path. I do sense potentially that there's still some things that you need to work on too. So you've started sort of doing an inventory of those things that need to change in your life, and you've started working on those things. But there is a sense that I am picking up on the need for you to continue to work on these things with the Devil card here also, and the card of Nurture, related to like making sure that, I guess, both your spiritual self and your physical health are both in alignment. Nurturing your body and your spirituality in terms of getting enough sleep, getting exercise, eating well, meditating, giving yourself downtime and doing those things that you love, that bring you joy, whether it be like walking on the beach or listening to music, going to the movies, spending time with friends, bringing those things into balance and focusing on those a little bit more, because they're making you realize what's important in life and becoming a happier, more vibrant person. I see, pile 2. And I do see an opportunity here for a new career path too. Or the things now will start really taking off for you in that career aspect, because you've worked on those things that were really holding you back, and you've let go of those restrictions, and you're starting to work on those other things that you need to work on. Things are going to start falling into place. And you'll be rewarded by that, because you'll see it. You'll see that reward, like in your career, in a sense, because I do sense that either you're going to change paths soon, or you'll have an opportunity for like rapid expansion in your career or your passions, in a sense. the Devil card is actually associated with the star sign of Capricorn, and Capricorn are all about like real strict perseverance and diligence in a career path. They are the hardest working of all of the zodiac, and are really dedicated to like being successful over the long haul, and you know, that really slow, strong journey, basically. So an opportunity for you to really bring in some amazing potential and wealth and happiness over the long haul, pile 2, which is really amazing. On that, pile 2, let's get some further messages about what's coming in for you, or any wisdom from the universe about how you can better overcome these challenges with the tarot deck. Once again, nothing is yet set in stone, and you also have here the Ace of Matches, a new beginning or a new opportunity anyway. So just remember that this isn't something that will just necessarily happen. You need to take action. With the rune of Uruz here, you need to take action and make sure that this happens, to dedicate yourself to this path, like the star sign of Capricorn, to really like keep working at it, and to be very strict and diligent in your approach to ensuring that whatever this opportunity is actually comes to fruition. It's not something that's just instantly going to happen overnight, and it's not actually even like a guarantee. I sense too, pile 2, that you really need to make sure that you can capitalize on this opportunity, because it's not going to be around forever, I sense. Oh wow. Oops. Ah. Oh. Lovely. Okay. So the first 2 cards that came out for you, pile 2, you have the 9 of Wands, and then you have the Queen of Wands in reverse. So I see that you've got a lot of fire in this chart, right? You've got the Ace of Wands here, or the Ace of Matches, you've got the 9 of Wands, and then you've got the Queen of Wands, indicating the potential for a new career path or a new opportunity here. But I sense you haven't quite taken action on this inspiration that you have yet. I think the inner work that you've done, the shadow work in overcoming certain habits and addictions, has allowed you to feel a lot better about yourself. You're realizing that you can probably achieve anything that you want in life, but you still haven't quite actually like gone on that path of following that passion or that creativity that you have with the Queen of Wands here, a very creative archetype that is in control of both the light and the dark attributes of themselves, in a sense, and is completely unapologetically their authentic self. They don't quite give a shit about what other people think about whether they're a little bit crazy or unique. You know, they just embody all of those traits quite openly. And I think maybe you're getting there, but it's just something that you need to work on. You need to be courageous and step out of your comfort zone and actually take action to break down this wall that you've put up in front of you. And to really just go out there and go for this thing, whatever it is. I sense it's a creative passion or a new path. It is a new path for you, pile 2, also. And a great opportunity here, but you haven't quite had the courage yet to take action on it. But I do sense that you will do that in the future, because your final card is more fire energy. You've got the Sun card, which has come out, which is amazing. It's the ultimate happiness and satisfaction. So once you actually go after this thing that you want to do, and start nurturing this project or this career path, you're going to have ultimate happiness and fulfillment here with the Sun card. It's going to be amazing. But there is a need for you to continue to work on these shadow aspects, to work on these habits and addictions that haven't been serving you. And the more you do that, the more vibrant you'll be, and realize how powerful you are too as a person, to embody that Queen of Wands archetype, who is completely their own authentic self, that doesn't give a shit about other people's thoughts, that is very creative and loving and warm, and just does what they want, really. Nice, beautiful reading. And for you, pile 2, let's get one more message from the universe has your back deck to find out what else they want us to know. Lots of fire energy, a really strong, inspired group, and a very creative group too, passionate. I think a group that really stands up for your own beliefs, or is starting to realize that there's a calling for you to stand up for what you believe in too, which is something that the world can really do with right now. To not allow like the negative forces around us to like dictate anymore. I think you're starting to break free of that, and you want to share your voice also. Your card. My capacity to tune into the energy of love gives me the words I need when I'm ready to speak up. There you go. The compassion I need when it's time to forgive, and the power I need when I am lost. Okay. So I was just also hitting on a message about your inner voice and wanting to like stand up for your beliefs and realize that you have a lot of power within you to change things around you, or to not allow injustices to sort of pass by anymore. And I do sense that that's part of your calling also, pile 2, which is kind of similar to pile 1. They got the Justice card that came out when I was shuffling, which was really amazing. So a group also that could be an inspirational leader. By you changing your life and following your own passions and gifts and actually standing up for your beliefs, I think you're going to inspire a lot of other people too, and really start like a revolution or a movement of change in this world of people wanting to do what brings them happiness and joy, like the Sun card here. To forgive other people that may have hurt you also, and to forgive yourself for these things that you put yourself through that maybe weren't for your greater good, and to be compassionate like the Queen of Wands here to yourself also. Yeah, but a really lovely reading for you, pile 2. I hope that resonated with you. If it did, please like and subscribe. And let's move on to pile 3. Welcome, pile 3, with the rune of Ansuz, which has been coming out a lot when I've been using my runes recently. Answers sounds a lot like the word answers, surprisingly, which is good because that's what it's kind of about, like finding answers to certain things, overcoming certain challenges, getting that inspiration and epiphany and understanding. It's also associated with your ancestors or ancestral knowledge and wisdom. So tapping into deeper inner knowledge too. So on that pile 3, let's find out if you're on the right path currently with your oracle cards and your tarot cards. So firstly, you have the card of number 14 and grace. Your tarot cards. You have the 10 of cups in reverse. It says here dysfunction, disharmony, and separation. You have the Ace of Cups in reverse also. Intuition, self-love, and repression. And your Moonology card? It's a new moon in Gemini. Communication is key. Interesting, because I'm currently filming it in June 2020, which is during Gemini season. We had the new moon 2 weeks ago. Communication is key, okay. So what stands out for me first, for you, pile 3? So you've got the new moon in Gemini card and communication is key. You've also got the rune of answers related to, like, I guess, finding out an answer. So I do sense that potentially there's a need for you to maybe talk about some issues that you're having. With the card here of grace and the Ten of Cups being in reverse, dysfunction and disharmony, I sense that potentially you've been a little hard on yourself. Maybe you berate yourself a little too much, or you talk down to yourself a little bit, and it's time for you to overcome that and to like stop yourself when you're actually starting to get into that process of that ruminating thought of a negative thought that you have, but potentially also to seek help from other people. With Gemini, the new moon in Gemini, communication is key, and the rune of answers. I sense that potentially you could really get some help from seeing a counselor or seeing a loved one or somebody that has some guidance that they can offer you to overcome certain challenges. I really see a group that potentially has suffered from some sort of mental health in the past, or is currently dealing with some sort of mental health potentially. And it's causing you a lot of emotional grief, I see here too, pile 3, with the Ten of Cups being in reverse, the Ace of Cups being in reverse, and also the Grace card, which is all about your thought processes and how you speak to yourself. So in terms of how you treat yourself, pile 3, I do sense that there is a need for you to change your path, or to change the way that you treat yourself, and to start saying things that are nice to yourself, to communicate to yourself, like the other flip side of the Gemini sign, the side that is like happier and kinder to yourself potentially, and to give yourself self-love, like it says here in the Ace of Cups, to do things that bring you happiness and joy. Also, it's time for you to focus on those things that lift you up and make you feel a lot more happy and vibrant, whether that be take a holiday or read a good book, a relaxing bath or a walk on the beach, anything like that. Visiting friends too, that will make you feel a lot better and continue to put you in that higher vibe, so that you can be a better version of yourself potentially. I do see also a group here that's very cerebral. So you have the new moon in Gemini group, strong communicators, very funny, very witty. And the card of Grace, about how you talk to yourself in your head. You're a very cerebral group. And I think you probably like to entertain people. So I'm picking up on an energy here of a group that likes to entertain and be of service to others by like entertaining, being funny, telling jokes, making sure other people are feeling a lot happier also. But I think first for you, it's all about self-love and making sure that you do that for yourself, so that you can actually radiate authentically and tell those jokes when you're actually feeling a lot happier and better about yourself too. It says here also intuition. And with the rune of answers too, answers being about like ancestral wisdom that is in your subconscious, tapping into that wisdom and inner knowing. A very intuitive group too. But you just need to silence your mind potentially, really, and to allow that intuition to flow, because I think your head is dominating your focus right now. But if you shut that off and allow your intuition to really blossom, then I think you'll know what your path is, and that you have a lot of strength within you to overcome certain challenges. Yeah, interesting. On that pile 3, let's get some further messages about what your path is and how you can overcome this negative thought process that is sort of keeping you restricted right now. Ooh. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, nice. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Amazing. Pile 3. Your time is coming. You have the Wheel of Fortune that just came out then in the upright position also. I see a group that's been restricted in the past. That I think maybe your reality has been a reflection of your mind and vice versa. That things have not worked out for you. You've gone through a lot of like trials and tribulations and heartache and pain. things that you've put effort into have fallen apart. Potentially relationships that you've been in haven't worked out. You've had some struggles, definitely, and that's made you get really in your own head about your own abilities and whether you're worthy and what you can achieve in life. And the more that you get into that cycle, like the Wheel of Fortune here, the more your own reality sort of reflects that too, because what we think and what we project outwards creates our reality around us, in a sense. We are co-creators with the universe and have the ability to really change the world around us. We see things that reflect our own thought processes, in a sense. And if those things around you are negative, or you portray them as potentially being negative, or perceive them as potentially being negative, I should say, then your mind starts to really like ruminate on that and believe that inherently, and it just cycles around. But I see a group that's going to start coming out of that very soon. There's a need for you to like quiet the mind and start to believe in your own abilities and what your own worth. And when you start to do that, your time will come. You'll get off this cycle and change this wheel, in a sense. And you have some really like positive future ahead of you, with the Sun card being ultimate happiness, basically, and fulfillment, bringing joy back into your life, as well as the King of Cups that came out in the upright position too, indicating that you have the ability to manifest your ultimate dreams and desires, pile 3, which is really amazing, a really powerful group that can change your own world by changing your thought processes and starting to believe in yourself a little bit more. A very cerebral group that is probably really intelligent too. If you start like thinking positive thoughts and start projecting positivity outwards, you have the ability to change your own reality and to bring in your own desires and dreams, but also to like portray those positive thoughts and inspiration to other people with your voice, basically, in the way that you communicate. The King of Coins is the archetype of the ultimate manifester that can work really hard conscientiously to achieve certain goals, but then has the ability to share that wealth and that inspiration with other people. So you have a real gift here, pile 3, that I think maybe you need to tap into. Trust in your intuition, follow that path, whatever it is for you that will bring you happiness and joy, similar to pile 2 in that aspect. And your time is coming, because you have the Wheel of Fortune in terms of a new cycle, an ending of one cycle and start of a fresh start of a new positive cycle with the Sun card here. Amazing. Finally, for you, pile 3, let's get another message for you from the Universe Has Your Back deck. I do sense that you could really benefit from seeking help though. But there's a real need for you to just start to love yourself a little bit more and be kinder to yourself, both by doing things that bring you joy and happiness with the Sun card there, but also by the thoughts that you have. Actively trying to change those thought processes and stopping yourself when you start to say things that aren't true, because they're just stories in our head that aren't true. We could replace them with positive stories. There's your card. Perfect. And a simple message, but this is probably a mantra that you need to tell yourself daily. Something that really you can use to embody the essence of who you are. Happiness is your birthright, pile 3. A simple message, but like the Sun card here, you deserve to be happy. We all deserve to be happy. And if you choose to change your mind in the way you think about certain things and dedicate yourself to that, it's going to be hard work, definitely, but the more you do it, the more you'll see positivity reflected in your reality around you. Like when I started really doing a lot of inner work and shadow work and had to overcome addictions and certain negative behavior patterns that I had, telling myself that I wasn't good enough, or really believing that I didn't deserve to be happy and successful. But when I started to overcome those and replacing those things with positive thoughts and doing positive affirmations really worked for me too, I noticed changes in my reality. I noticed the color of flowers becoming a lot more bright. I noticed like birds and animals just coming up to me on the street. I noticed people smiling at me on the street that I never would notice before. And it radiates and it starts to like cycle in a sense and cascade, like the domino effect. When you start this, it will start to sort of fall into place a lot more. So just trust in that, and trust in your own intuition that you have the ability to overcome these challenges, pile 3. That's all I have for you, pile 3. I hope it resonated with you. If it did, please like and subscribe. And let's move on to pile 4. Welcome, pile 4, with the rune of Bacano, which is a rune associated with the birch tree. It's a rune of rebirth and new beginnings, fertility and growth, expansion. Whoops, that's from the other reading. Let's get rid of that one. Yeah, interesting. So a new opportunity for you, potentially, pile 4. Meaning that I think you're probably on the way to being on the right path. But let's find out if you're on the right path anyway with your tarot and oracle cards. Your tarot cards. Oh, you have the universe card and infinite growth. Nice. Evolution and possibilities. There you go. Okay. Lovely. You have the 8 of matches in reverse. Slowing down. Interesting. Panic and delays. They're kind of conflicting energies in a sense. Your Moonology card. Cardinal Moon. Be bold and make the first move. Right. And your final card is number 2, an understanding. Okay. I sense for you, pile 4, that you've actually started to you're in a place of being in a pause right now, similar to, say, the Hanged Man in the tarot. You've stopped and taken a pause to really reassess your life right now, where you're going, what you want from life, what your career path is or your calling, who you are as a person and what your values are. Because you started to realize that not so much you weren't on the right path so much, but that there's things that could be better, that you could change. You could be more in alignment with your authentic self and I guess your calling in life in a way. And I think that you're actually starting to actively seek out answers, not just from yourself by going in and finding that wisdom from within. But I see here with the card of number 2, an understanding, that you're actually asking other people for their opinions, to get second opinions on certain things, or to see things from other people's perspectives also. Because you've taken the time to slow down here with, it says here, panic and delays, but I don't think you're so much panicking. I think you're just in a place of wanting to find out who you are, as the most authentic version of yourself, in a sense, like the hermit, going off on your own in a way to get that inner wisdom and experience, but also sort of seeking answers from other people, and trying to see things from various perspectives so you can get, I guess, the most information and make the right decision for you. And I do think that you're coming into a lot of inner wisdom too. You are starting to understand what you want from life, who you are and where you're going. And soon you'll turn the 8 of matches in the upright position and actually take action, I sense. But the cards are calling for you to take action shortly. So you've got here the Cardinal Moon, be bold and make the first move. But also here with the Universe card in the upright position, infinite growth and evolution. When you actually start to follow this path, whatever that may be for you, pile 4, I see a lot of expansion very rapidly. That the 8 of matches will be turned upright, and I see like a lot of growth and expansion very, very soon, but you need to really like make that first move, like dedicate yourself to this path and actually in a way make a bold gesture to the universe that you're committed to this path, and the universe will then have your back and allow for rapid expansion and growth. So a group that really has an optimistic and bright future ahead of them, but a group that still needs to just make that decision on whatever it is that you want and then commit to it. You've also got the rune here of Berkana in Rebirth, so a group that's coming into their own, and a really strong opportunity for something amazing to manifest in your reality, powerful. Let's find out what that is and get some further insight from the universe about your future and what your path is with the Tattoo Tarot deck. I get the sense of like lots of Aries vibes here, in a sense of being bold and making the first move. Aries is the first zodiac sign, and takes charge like the ram, goes out into the world like really aggressively because they want to be the best and to prove themselves to the world. And I also say that because you've got the 8 of Wands here, even though it's in reverse, Wands being associated with fire signs, Aries being a fire sign, in a group ready for rapid expansion, which is what the sign of Aries is all about, right? Like growth and becoming the best version of themselves. So you may have strong Aries placement in your chart. Sun, moon, or rising signs. Potentially Aries in your 10th house too. All right, let's stop there for you so far. Okay. So on there, you've also got the Knave of Wands, more fire energy. The archetype of like the inspired go-getter who's come up with a new passion or an idea, and is really like excited about it now and just wants to get on that journey. You're not quite on the journey yet, I see, pile 4. You need to take action and make that first move. So you'll move shortly from the Knave of Wands onto the Knight of Wands, which is that inspired go-getter. But right now you're just excited and inspired about a new path, a new opportunity. Oh my gosh, okay, wow, you have the Magician card. So you have the Magician card and the Universe card. A really powerful and spiritually aligned group too. I see a lot of spiritual energy here, with the Knave of Wands being, I guess, the card really affiliated with like a spiritual awakening also, in some sense, like your change of mindset and new inspired energy. The Magician being able to manifest anything they want in their own reality with all of the tools that they need, and that divine connection to their own guides. And the Universe card here supporting you with the evolution and infinite growth, a really like spiritual group. A group that has the ability to really know what your path needs to be and like what each step of the way is, by tapping into their spiritual connection and trusting their own intuition and those messages here with the letter here on the Knave of Wands. Those messages that you are receiving in your reality and from your spirit guides, I sense, like the signs and synchronicities that you get, or even just some divine gifts that provide messages for you, whether it be like clairaudience or claircognizance. Amazing infinite growth here and the ability to do whatever you want with the Magician. So whatever it is that you're excited about, you can really achieve. You have a lot of power here, pile 3. Your final tarot card, oh, it's the Queen of Wands in reverse. I cannot believe that. That's amazing. Creative talents, inspired leader. But like the 8 of matches in reverse, And the card here of the cardinal moon, be bold and make the first move. You haven't quite taken action on it yet. You're still sort of getting all of that knowledge as much as you can from other people that you're asking about, from your spirit guides, your own intuition, your own abilities and your own strength, starting to like get the courage to take this bold move. Because I think you're inspired now, but you're still questioning whether you can achieve it. But the answer is yes, pile 4. So you are on the right path. At least you know what your path is, and you just need to follow it now and really believe in this connection that you have with your divine, with the divine, basically. Lots of fire energy. I can't believe the Queen of Wands just came out then. That's amazing. So you have the Knave of Wands, the Queen of Wands, the 8 of matches in reverse, and even the Magician is fire energy too. An inspired group with a lot of power and a lot of passion. On that pile 4, let's get one more message for you from the universe. Has your back deck. I always get that muddled up. This is a really magical reading. You just need to trust yourself. You have all the gifts and the wisdom that you need to do whatever you want, pile 4. And don't question your path too. You know what your path is. You just need to actually be bold and get out there and do it now. And I do sense that it's a creative gift or talent that you have too. So the Queen of Wands is a very creative archetype of following her passions and really being honest and true and authentic to herself and what she believes in. You've just got to move on from being the Knave of Wands now to being the Knight of Wands and moving towards the Queen of Wands, basically. Whoop, there's your card, just there. When I lean on the faith of the universe, peace becomes real. Okay. An inspired leader that can really help bring peace and harmony to the world, that has the ability to manifest whatever you want in reality with the Magician card here. You need to set intentions and then to go after them, because you can inspire other people and change the world around you physically, not just metaphorically, but you have the ability here to really like change your reality by believing in your own dreams and desires, going after them and being a bold leader, pile 4. That your thoughts and your actions can actually co-create with the universe. Just rely on this connection with the universe and know that the universe has your back. That you are being guided to do something really strong and amazing, a really powerful group. Follow those creative gifts that you have and that passion and wisdom that you are downloading from the universe, pile 4. And change the world for the better. What an amazing group. I hope that resonated with you, pile 4. If it did, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I'll see you in the next reading. Bye.